Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to a recap of the LUMS National Rapid Chess Championship. Junaid Sohail here offers a draw to his opponent on move 1 because both of them are really tired after 8 rounds of consecutive play. Both sides starting their game. They're a bit late, as you can see the board behind them has already started and is well into the mid game. So let's see how this encounter goes. Both sides shake hand and the game begins with d4. We enter into the sort of classical variation of the Nimzo-Larsen opening that is characterized with a quite solid play. Pawn to a3 is an idea over here, a3, b5, e3 and knight to e2 is also an idea in these sort of structures. Knight f3, e4 is an idea as well. So white has a lot of setups that he can opt for now. Very flexible opening, but main line usually goes with pawn to e4, taking over the center, undoubling your pawns. But over here, let's see what Junaid does. You can even go g3, you can go e3, you can go e4. If Amil Kareem pushes after e4, e5, e5, do a series of exchanges, and now black is thinking. It's a sort of a sideline, not the main line. Queen to f3. What does Junaid do? The pawn is under threat, so bishop to b2 seems logical. He takes a long think, calculating some lines, going over variations. And he sacrifices the rook. The rook has been sacrificed. Mr. Amil Kareem thinking, is this true? Am I missing something? But no, that's just a rook. He captures a1 is played. And Junaid pops out his knight to f3, taking control of these squares. Mr. Amil Kareem brings out his own knight, taking squares back. And Junaid pushes pawn to a3. Over here you have to be very careful. Move like pawn to d5 would lead to disaster. Like let's say here, just bishop d3 and knight to d4. Knight captures d4. The game continues and we lose this pawn. So over here, Mr. Amil Kareem plays knight to d4, knight captures d4, then queen captures d4. Now he has to think what he wants to do. Bishop to d3 is an idea. Bishop to e3 is also an idea. So he first goes bishop to b3, threatening to take the n7 pawn. But now black can play queen to e5 check, pushing away the king. or he can block with bishop to e3 as well. Let's see what Amil Kareem does. We have queen to e5 check. And instantaneous king f1, showcasing that he is still in his prep. Now ideas like bishop to b2 and the bishop pair become extremely activated. h4, h5, g4, attacking on the king side, all while black's pieces are undeveloped. But at the same time, Indian favors black. So some moves are played with pawn to f5, bishop to b2, queen goes back to c7, and even g4 now. Another long thing by Amil Kareem. And he strikes in the center with d5. You cannot take, otherwise queens get traded off. G captures f5 is an idea. After takes, the position opens up, and it's not really practical. So what can you play now? Maybe continue with h4. Okay, he takes. And the position opens up a bit. Rook comes out, and he plays rook f7. With a long think by Junaid Sohail. White is thinking what he should do. One simple idea is just to start pushing over here, but no. He goes first, with the idea being that you cannot take over here. So put on him, and then later on he can start with h4, h5. Black plays queen to e7, gives up a pawn for the queen trade. India does not like this move and goes -1 from -3. Still the position is favorable for black, but in the penultimate round, these things don't really matter as much. What matters more is practical play. So now, white has the bishop pair and his pawn disadvantage rather is gone. He has an attack going and black still lacks development. So all those factors contribute to putting pressure on white. Some moves are played, pawn to g6 and pawn to d6. You have the instantaneous bishop to d6. Not that great of a move as you lock in your own bishop, and suddenly white's position doesn't seem that bad. You have ideas coming in, this pawn becomes really cumbersome. h4, h5 is still a threat. So maybe after something like bishop to, on e5 and locking in the structure, h4, h5, how are you going to develop the pieces? I mean, if you go here and here, then simply this, right? So we have bishop to e5. Amil Kareem goes into a long thing. He knows he has misplayed it, and king to f8. After another long king, white plays pawn to h4. And we have pawn to a5, breaking open. Pawn to b5, not allowing the rook to get activated. And king rook to d8. h5 even. And rook e8. Just pawn to f4, quite logical now, fixing the bishop. Pawn to f4 now. Bishop to e6. Takes. A series of exchange. Now, black's king is kind of cramped and on the verge of getting mated. Some more moves. King goes up. And the advantage continues to see through. But here the best move for black is white is actually king to f2, which is sort of crazy. With the idea that after, let's say something like bishop d7, you can play h7 check. I don't know, the line is pretty crazy. Anyways, in the game, king h7, king g6, king d7 check, king h5. And now how do you continue? White pushes the pawn, which is a mistake. According to the engine, the best move is this. So there's a series of moves that are made. Over here, the line is so crazy that this shows a 0-0 and then this shows a +3. So crazy line. Over here, bishop captures f5 has to be played. Best position, threatening checkmate as well. Maybe he's worried about these checks, but he misplays it, gives a check. King goes here, and he blunders. But Amil Kareem blunders back. Now it's a drawn out endgame. Whatever you do, this game will be a draw. This king goes back, and bishop takes. It's a mistake. And both sides are just playing out moves now. It's an equal endgame, but Amir Kareem wishes to outplay his younger opponent. He is not resigning. So Black is trying to do something, but White is a natural master himself, so he's not going to blunder. Mr. Amir Kareem knows that it's been a long game, almost 30 minutes now, and a long day at that. So he's trying to do something. It's a 9 round event in a single day. This is probably the 8th or the 9th round. So he's trying his level best to sort of try and make him make a mistake. Junaid has offered him a draw multiple times, but it has been declined.
Guys,
Most
everybody
probably
please
it will
step
fizzle
back.
out into a draw.
It's like looking at a movement apparently.
Both sides are just making moves. Mind you, Junaid is the one with the extra pawn. Still, Black is pushing for a win. Very clear idea. Check and picking it up. And
Lag हो गई ओए
oh, and Mr. Amil Kareem flags. It's insane. He flags in this position. He intended to play this move, which would have resulted into a draw immediately. But then he flags one move late.